How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the New York Islanders franchise mode here in NHL 25. Moving into episode number 8, the second half of year number 3 for the 2026-27 regular season. In the last one, we had a great but kind of confusing first half of the season as we arrived at the halfway point with 26 wins, putting ourselves on a pace for 52 wins, second in the Metropolitan Division. But as you can see on the right side of your screen, we currently sit 14th in the NHL in goals for per game and 28th in the league for power play percentage. Yes, our goals against per game is in the top 10 in the league, which is fantastic, but for the most part, I'm not super impressed by the team. Now, that being said, our point production, our goal scoring is much better than the last couple of years. Matty Barzal's on pace for 90 points. Bo Horvat on pace for 38 goals and 78 points. Cole Eiserman, okay, in his sophomore season, on pace for 76 points, good. Brock Besser on pace to hit 30 goals, fantastic. Patrick Laine in his first season here on Long Island is on pace to pass 60 points, good. But, like Noah Dobson, still, he's, yes, on pace to get 46 points, but as our 90 overall power play one quarterback playing 25 minutes per night, we want to see more production from him. We want to see more production from Cyplikov, who has 3 goals right now, playing some top 6 minutes. Yes, averaging 12.5 per night, but he's playing some top 6 minutes right now. Porter Martone has turned things around. That's good. Even Vince Dunn, though, on pace for 26 points, 87 overall, 90 passing, on pace for just 26 points. So the point production from the defense has not been great. Goaltending has been good, though. Sorokin, 23, 13, and 1, 3 shutouts, 907 save percentage, under 3 goals against average, which is all you can ask for in franchise mode. And Ivan Fedotov backing him up, 9 appearances, and some very good numbers. 12 goals against on 169 shots, 928 save percentage. So Fedotov, or should I be saying Fedotov will be seeing some more starts this episode. So all that to say, I entitled last episode Fool's Gold ? Because yes, we're on pace to be one of the best teams in the league. Yes, things seem to be clicking offensively, but the underlying numbers do concern me. If we look at the current configuration of our lineup, the third line's actually been doing very well since we moved Lysell down with Nelson and Martone. That seemed to unlock Porter Martone as he had 0 points in his first 14 games, but 13 points in his last 27 games. If you look at the split stats as well, we can see his last 10 games, 4 assists plus 1, okay. And Fabian Lysell, who is on the second line a little bit too, but we'll put him back on the third line. He has 6 points plus 7 in his last 10 games. And Brock Nelson at center, our captain, over his last 10 games has 6 points as well. So from the third line, that's pretty much all the production that we can ask for. That's no problem at all. It's the top 6 production here. And Cyplikov and his numbers don't give me a lot of confidence. On defense, we broke up Dunn and Dobson, as now Sandin and Dobson will play on the first pair. Rasmus Sandin, one of our acquisitions this past offseason, he only played in 27 games due to injury. But in those 27 games, 4 goals on 34 shots, shooting at 11.8%. So let's get him shooting some more. Let's see if him continuing on the first pair will unlock something with Noah Dobson. He's playing 20-39 per night, and over his last 10 games, I'm not sure if it's all been first pair, but 2 points plus 5. Okay, all right, but like I said, we gotta get some more production from these guys. So there's the state of how things are here at the halfway point, and the major questions at the end of last episode for the AGMs were, number 1, do we think about supplementing 5-on-5 offense? And number 2, what do we do for this abysmal power play? So looking at the comments left by the AGMs in the last one, we'll start off with Lacton, who said, things are going the right way as we want them, and let me tell you something, you are a little harsh on the team. Currently, we are on over a 50-win pace, which is great, and considering how we're 14th in scoring, but 6th overall, with a power play that's 28th, that's great. Our primary focus in the next half of the season would be to improve our special teams, especially the power play, of course. My 2 cents would be power play 1, Horvat at center with Barzal, Besser, Eiserman on the wings, and Dobson at the point, and power play 2 being Nelson at center with Laine, Martone, Lysell as the 3 in the middle, and Dunn at the point. We need to shuffle them more often to find the optimal results because this could cost us the playoff run. As for 5-on-5 lines, I wouldn't do much. It seems to be working. Maybe our only concern would be Cyplikov, as I could see him being traded for a better third line left wing if we wanted to. But especially now that we have Lysell continuing on that third line, if he's going to continue to be strong with Nelson and Martone, it'd be more of a top 6 player we're looking for. Also, you should give Fedotov some more starts, as in 41 games he was only the starter for 4 of them, and he has great numbers. Give Ilya some rest. With this pace, we're looking to bump into the Pens in round 1, which would give great storylines to face Ovechkin and Sid together in probably their last games in the NHL. Yeah, thank you for those thoughts, Lacton. Well said, especially with the power play units, as our current power plays look like this. Horvat, Lysell, Barzal, Eiserman with Dobson at the point. But Lacton saying swap Barzal over here and then swap Lysell with Besser. Then on the second unit, it would be Laine over here, Martone in the middle, and done at the point. And you know what? As the finisher with the right-handed shot, maybe giving him a bit more space on that left wing instead of being in front of the net would be beneficial. So we'll start the power play units looking like that. We'll check in 5 to 10 games and see if it does anything. And if any more changes need to happen, we'll keep on mixing. Moving on to Zach's comment now. Zach said, Data, I don't think you're crazy for having your concerns. I do as well. It's clear that our two-way D-men who should be offensively minded are just not working. We need a real offensive D-man. Our goal scoring is a bit of a concern too. It's not bad, but Besser and Laine need to be scoring more goals, way more goals. Again, in the sim, it's not horrible. When you compare them at their best in the real world, they could both be like 30, 35, 40 goal scorers. I'm glad to see Martone turned it around and found his groove. Maybe he could change to net front presence on the second power play unit. That's what we just did, thank you. I also think Besser and Yzerman need to work the first power play unit. Again, what we just did, thanks to Lacton's comment, with Barzal and Dobson. Horvat to the second unit, though, says Zach, as Laine could be the finisher in the slot. Bottom six has been fine, I suppose. So if Horvat were to change, that would mean Nelson swapping in over here. I don't think it would really do anything to chemistry, but Horvat has been on a very good pace. So for now, I wouldn't mind keeping him first unit. A future goal is to maybe get Martone's defensive awareness up so he can play a penalty kill unit. Well said, we want to give him ice time, yep. And Fedotov has surprised me, to be honest. It's a small sample, so let's get him some more rotations. Excellent episode, Data. Catch you in the next one. Well said, Zach. Thank you very much. As I was saying previously, in addition to our power play concerns, there's also the thought about the 5-on-5 scoring. Maybe a top 6 edition, middle 6 edition. Tyler leaves a great comment here saying, great episode. I think you're right in your criticisms of the team. The scoring has been lackluster and needs a jump. I like Batherson, Drake Batherson on the block over in Ottawa. Ottawa looks like a team wanting to retool and get younger, and his contract is reasonable. It's an expiring deal under $5 million. I think trading Cyplakov and a combination of picks and a prospect to bring in Batherson could be the jumpstart the team needs to move from okay to good. We also saw in a short sample size that the third line of Lysell, Nelson, and Martone can play well together, and I like the idea of the two prospects on a line learning from the veteran Nelson. I would see lines looking like this or something similar. Yzerman, Barzal, Besser on the top line, Laine, Bo, Batherson on the second, the third continues Lysell, Nelson, Martone, and the fourth stays the same as Lee, Cizikas, Palmieri. Excited to see you fight against the EA voodoo against the Islanders and bring this team to prosperity. Go Data. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you very much. So, yes, we could make a little swap here, Laine Yzerman. Absolutely. It would increase the chemistry, but as we've been seeing in NHL 25, it seems like chemistry doesn't really mean anything. It's been a few years, but this year especially. And I gotta say, I don't remember having any huge concerns with the first or second line left wing. So they're interchangeable. We can move them around, but I think to continue to start the second half of the season, we'll keep them as they were to end the first half. And if there's any issues, one of those first swaps to kind of jumpstart things would be a Laine Yzerman switch. But back to Batherson, imagine a second line right wing who's an 87 overall would be a huge upgrade on Cyplakov. He's an 83, gives the line a +3, but we gotta be honest with ourselves that things are not looking good for Cyplakov. 36-point rookie season, picks it up last year with 43 points, but now this year, 14. It would give him a 35-point pace, which isn't that far off of what he's done in the past. But now, especially more than ever, we're giving him a top 6 chance. So if he wants to stay on this team, he'll have to really take the opportunity over the next 15 to 20 games before the trade deadline and prove his worth. I like his contract. I want to keep him. $2.8 million for this year and next year. Drake Batherson, if we acquired him, he'd probably be a pure rental, as I bet he'd be wanting upwards of $7-8 million to re-sign. And it would cost Cyplakov, I believe, a first-round pick and more. So I'm not really jumping to get Batherson just yet, but I agree he'd be an upgrade. So Cyplakov, I really need you to pull your weight. If we're going to go on a deep Stanley Cup run, giving up that kind of value is okay, but if Cyplakov can do it, then maybe we don't have to. We'll see. Moving on to Ramathorn's comment. Ramathorn said, hey Data, 26 wins at this point of the season is really good. Winning loads of games after regulation time, which likely inflated the wins. I could easily see this being a 22-14-5 team if those overtime results went a different way. So the takeaway is that this team is very good in overtime. That's not a bad thing. Laine looks to be carrying the second unit power play and potentially the reason why Horvat is on his 78-point pace for even strength lines. Definitely would consider him a success at this point. Also noticed Lysell crushed it on the third line with Nelson and Martone. Not only did he go 10 points in 10 games, but he unlocked Martone, who was completely scoreless before Lysell ended up on his line. I know things changed. Laine moved to the first line. He's no longer with Horvat. Lysell was playing second line. He wasn't with Martone. But I think, as a few comments have been saying, let's reunite that third line. And Laine Yzerman swap, as I just said, it could happen at any moment. Ramathorn says, if I had to change anything, I would add Mason Marchment or Drake Batherson, who are on the trade block, simply because they're affordable and available. If it can be done by giving up Cyplakov and Olofsson along with a pick of some sort to immediately improve the first and third lines of the team, no reason why not. If Barzal and Besser start to show worse than a -2+-, then maybe it's not an improvement, but the improvement that Lysell gave the third line definitely stood out. It's hard to say what the right call is, sticking with the team that got you to a 52-win pace or swapping out some pieces. Guess the right move is to try to improve the power play, absolutely. Line Besser moving into Horvat's spot and Horvat centering the second unit potentially, also an idea. See if there's a drop-off and then address it around the deadline, or if there's a big drop-off sooner. Good luck in the second half. Thank you, Ramathorn. And if we needed to hear more voices telling us we got to make some sort of addition, look at this comment from Philippe that says, I'm sorry, but from what I'm seeing so far, this is what mediocrity looks like. This team is not good enough to win the cup. I appreciate that honesty, Philippe. So definitely a wide range of opinions from the AGMs, as always. I think to start the second half of the season, the lines can be like this. The power play changes can be what we just did as well. Nothing more to do than that. But we're most certainly keeping an eye on a potential Drake Batherson acquisition. I'm not going to fool myself. I don't think we'd be able to keep him beyond one season. I'm sure for an extension you'd be wanting money that we can't pay him, but looking just at trade value, he does hold quite a bit. If we wanted to make a trade, it would probably require some sort of prospect in addition to Cyplakov and a first-round pick, I think. Just Cyplakov and a first, that might be enough. That might be enough, but it might take a little bit more. We don't want to wait too long before he gets traded, but yeah, Cyplakov a first and maybe just a little bit more to push it over would be what it costs. Another name that came up a couple of times was Matt Zuccarello, but he does carry a cap hit of 8.875, so we'd have to have him retain 50% probably, which would make perfect sense in the real world, but in franchise mode, they probably won't want to do it. We'll have to add even more value. I'm not sure. So Zuccarello also an option, though, from an even worse Sharks team, and they're sellers. And of course, as we mentioned, Mason Marchment over in Seattle. They want to get much younger. His numbers aren't great, but he is an 86 overall. Power forward, yes, he is, which with 5-star physical, not great defense, but better defense than Cyplakov, and I don't know, not really scoring this season, but 42 points last year. I don't know. If I'm going to dish out that kind of value, I'm probably going for more of a Drake Batherson. Even Tarasenko's out here if we want a cheaper acquisition. That would be the value deal probably. Tarasenko might be an underrated value deal. And you know what? It's funny. He was the captain of our Kraken series back in NHL 22. And he's a Data 782 Hall of Fame nominee with the Kraken. So funny that he found his way back to Seattle. Maybe we can acquire him from the Kraken. But that's how things stand as we begin the second half of this season. Not really much to change aside from those little lineup tweaks. And now we continue to simulate. We'll also keep an eye on trying to give more starts to Fedotov. But speaking of the Senators, we're going to go and face them in Ottawa at the Canadian Tire Center to kick off the second half of year number 3. Drake Batherson leading their team in points with 34 on the year so far. Let's do it, simming this one on the road in Ottawa for the first game of the second half as we try to hit our 50-plus win pace. I would love a power play goal in this one. First period, 1-1 game, Josh Norris. We give up a power play goal. Sorry, I didn't specify. And Matty Barzal scores for us, continuing his march towards a 90-point season. Second period, 4-1 Islanders. Thank you very much. Bo Horvat scores twice, passing 20 goals, and Patrick Laine gets one as well. 4-1 Islanders, 3-goal lead here in Ottawa in the third period. I know, I love the lead, I want the win, but I'd love to see a power play goal for us. Okay, so we kill off a power play, then we score an even strength goal. Matty Barzal with his second. 2 for Barzal, 2 for Horvat. Power play Islanders killed off, and that'll be all she wrote. 5-1 the final shots, and 34-29. Ilya Sorokin stands tall and looks good, thank you. Barzal scores twice with an assist to get first-star honors, and big top 50 Bo Horvat with the second-star performance. Okay, so a nice win there. Let's head back to the calendar. We have some back-to-backs coming up, so we'll be mindful of when Fedotov comes in. And I also have to update the scouting in a little bit. So we'll give Sorokin the Flyers and the Capitals, I suppose. Then we'll go Fedotov for a couple starts. Hurricanes and Golden Knights. Then we'll go back after that. Yeah, with a few back-to-backs here in the month of January. So in Philadelphia, they're 16-20 and something. We lose 4-1 against them. Of course we do. No, thank you. Dallas in Washington, 4-0 shutout. Thank you very much. Love that. And you know what? Maybe you want to check. Did Fedotov, the game put him in? I don't know. That's where we go to the game logs. Let's see. 4-0 victory. Bo Horvat had the game winner. And it was Sorokin having a 30-save shutout. There you go. So Sorokin gets the shutout against the Hurricanes. Against the Capitals. And now the matchup against the Hurricanes goes to Fedotov. There you go. He's already starting. Perfect. We'll try to get a full 10 games in so we can check the metrics there with the last 10 games split stats thingy. 5-3 loss there, unfortunately. Is Fedotov going to be in for this one? Actually, if he's starting at the bottom, it should be him. No, so they're going to put Sorokin in. So, against the Maple Leafs, yeah, you know what? I do want Sorokin in against the Maple Leafs. They're 31-14-1, and we lose 4-3 against them. Close loss. All right, here against Vegas, now we'll go back to Fedotov. It really might be Fedotov, eh? I haven't watched really any Flyers games where he's starting, so I haven't heard the announcers saying his name. Fedotov, I don't know. Here we go. He gets the start against Vegas, and then we'll see a big game against a divisional rival, potentially a playoff rival in the Pittsburgh Penguins. Isaiah George will fix that in a second. Hosting Vegas, 3-2 overtime victory. There you go. Let me just put, Sorokin back in. I'll just fix up the AHL lines. All right, there we go against the 23-17-6 Pittsburgh Penguins, trying to hit win number 30 against a big divisional rival and potentially our round 1 matchup. Ovechkin, Crosby, Foss, and the Penguins. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-1 Pens. Graves and Raquel score for the Penguins, including a goal from Raquel with 21 seconds left. Samuel Bolduc, the third pair defensive defenseman, scoring our lone goal in Delkovich. Being outshot 27-24 through 40 minutes. Third period, down by 1. Who in that top 6 is going to tie it? Power play opportunity. Goes nowhere. Power play Penguins, 5-on-3. There you go. Take those penalties. We kill it all off. Momentum back in our favor. Let's go. 5 minutes left, and Rutger McGroarty will put it to bed. Okay, 4-1 loss. Getting outshot 38-31. Fantastic. How does the power play look over here? Can I see this? Where is this? Power play now down at 29th in the league, dropping even further. Okay, so I know it's a small sample size, but they've done nothing. Only 7 games, but not good enough there as we drop even further in the power play percentages. So let's have Unit 1 look like this, okay? And Unit number 2 can look like this. +5 and +1. Besser and Laine as the finishers. Cole Eiserman hasn't really been scoring much. Let's put him on the second unit with that left-handed shot. I don't know. Let's just mix it up. Before we start mixing up the actual personnel, let's try mixing up those units one last time. So that's been, what? We said 8 games? No, 7 games since the halfway point. All right, let's sim to the next game here against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Another back-to-back coming up. The 31-15-4 Tampa Bay Lightning. Now 32-15-4 in Tampa with Sorokin between the pipes. Here we go. And it's going to be a 3-2 shootout win. Whew! And Fedotov is getting this start here against Ottawa. Very good. As we are going to be hosting the Senators after we faced them just a few games ago. And it's a big 5-2 victory. Back-to-back wins in that back-to-back couple games. 31-18-1 is the record. As Fedotov gets a juicy win right there. Back to the calendar. Actually, you know what? I have to go back to the scouting, actually. As we'll continue simming in just a moment. But now we get a nice little week off here for the All-Star break, I would assume. Back-to-back wins. We've won 3 of our last 4. That's good. But still, a lot of games going beyond regulation. All right, we'll get, again, Ottawa. We're playing Ottawa again. We're getting to see Drake Batherson a lot, at least. But we'll get back in just a sec. And before we continue, just want to plug this one last time. Don't forget to check out the Islanders Google Sheet, link in the description, being kept up to date by Mighty Joe. Now when you open it up, it'll tell you up to what episode the sheet has been updated, so for any spoilers that might get in your way. But for anything you want to go back in the history for, point totals from past seasons, draft trades, and what those draft picks we traded away or acquired ended up being in the prospects who were drafted, stuff like that. Thank you as always to Mighty Joe, who does such a great job to keep that updated, and it will be linked in the description. Last episode, this episode, and every episode moving forward. Okay, and back to it. One more game until we can see how the last 10 games have been. I believe it's been 9 games since the, AHL lines, since the start of the second half. So we'll check on things in just a moment as we sim towards this next Senators matchup through the All-Star break. Nice little week plus off. Back-to-back once more. So let's go Sorokin this time. Yeah, we just did Fedotov last game. And we'll sim through this one on the road at Canadian Tire Center. The third game against the Senators of the second half already. First period, let's get through it quickly. 2-0 Senators. Second period, 4-1 Senators. Awesome. Brock Besser scores the lone goal for us. Down by 3. Outshot 21-15. Let's go top 6. We're definitely going to be seeing some changes in the top 6, I think. But Saiplikov, okay. Trying to stay alive on this Islanders team. Power play goal for Bo Horvat. All right. First game of those new units. 1-goal lead now with a power play opportunity. Killed off by the Senators. Final 2 minutes. Can we find something to push overtime? No, Sanderson adds an empty netter. All right, we had a late push, but not enough, sadly. So through 10 games since the halfway point, we went 5-5-0. Honestly, not enough. And a sore hip. Aw, poor baby. Sore hip for Noah Dobson, out for like 2 weeks. Can you at least tell me some sort of fracture or bone bruise? It's just sore, and you're out for 2 whole weeks. Okay, so let's check things out. Matty Barzal, let's scroll through pretty much everybody. I'm curious about pretty much everyone. So in the last 10 games for Barzal, 13 points in 10 games, all as well in the first line, I would think. Bo Horvat, 27 goals now. So that's 8 goals and 13 points from Big Bo. All right. Cole Eiserman, only 2 goals from Eiserman, I believe. Yeah, but 10 points. Okay, point per game, Cole Eiserman. Brock Besser, I don't think he scored many goals. Brock Besser, 2 goals, 5 points. For that kind of ice time, maybe Besser and Laine swap. I wonder, what did Laine do? Besser had 5 points, Laine had 6 points. Okay, Fabian Lysell back on that third line. Has it continued to do what it was doing? Not really. 2 points and -3 from Fabian Lysell. So maybe the third line experiment is over. Noah Dobson. Oh, Noah Dobson. 3 points, -2. Cyplikov with his top 6 opportunity. Whoa! Yes, sir! 11 points in 10 games from Cyplikov. Yes! Okay, Cyplikov, I see you. I see you, big boy. We'll let you stay right there, Bello. Brock Nelson, third line center. How's the captain doing? 1 goal, -2 in the last 10 games. Yeesh. Ryan Pulock, I don't care so much about his production. What about, what's this glitch now? Look at this. If I press next player with R2 or left or L2, it does that. Oh, what a joke. No! No! The game's jammed! No! Wait, hold on. I let it... I could go... Wait, hold on! Is it back? Are you alive? Can I back out? Are you alive, game? Okay, thank goodness the game's alive. Oh, EA, always something new. That was almost a meltdown. Vince Dunn. How you doing, Vinny? Vince Dunn, 5 points in 10 games. That's better from Vince Dunn. Porter Martone, man, he was terrible. He picked it up, now he's terrible again. 2 points, -3 in his last 10 games. Now up to an 83 overall, though. And Erasmus Sandin, last guy I'm really curious about. 5 points in 10 games from him. All right, Rasmus. Good. Now, down for the goaltending, actually. The goaltending. Sorokin, he didn't play all 10 games of his last 10, but if we just look at his stat now, 7 save percentage, it's not the last 10 games, all his. Yeah, Fedotov will start the next game. Okay, so based on that, and based on how the power play is, yeah, it's not that one game was enough to change anything, but we did score a power play goal. We won't touch the power play, but I will make some more 5-on-5 changes headed towards the deadline. If Cyplikov could stay on the second line, that would be awesome. It would be more this bottom 6 that's struggling. So, Kyle Palmieri, who has scored historically, do we give him more ice time and give him a little third line chance? Porter Martone, man, he's been an enigma for us a little bit. I would want to promote him, but that second line's been great. Actually, you know what? I said Brock Besser's been struggling. You know what? Let's go a small experiment here. Besser-Martone swap to try and jumpstart Martone and try to spread offense to the third line in the name of doing those two things. Martone and Besser. We're going to keep track of them over the next, 5 games or so. All right? And let's just advance today. Make sure Fedotov starts this one on the road against the Devils. Yes, he does. Advancing a day on the road against New Jersey, who are 25-22-2. We win 4-3. Nice. All right, back to the calendar. Very good. Next back-to-back. Let's go 3 more games. Well, I won't know who was... Yeah, let's go 2 more games. Then we'll do the back-to-back. Hosting the Hurricanes and then the Rangers. Carolina, we beat them 2-1. Injured again in the AHL, my goodness. 2-1 win, very good. 1-goal squeaker. And then the Rangers, big divisional matchup there. 4-2 victory. Ivankovic and Aitchison for Hayes, a third and a fourth. Are you serious? What are you on? Vancouver. Okay, we're 34-19-1 facing the 21-26-8 Kraken. Yeah, Fedotov can start this one. Hosting the Kraken, 4-3 shootout loss. And you know what, Fedotov? Start another one, just because I know you're not going to be playing too much. Now I think our back-to-backs are done for a little while. I'll give you one more start, because I know Sorokin's been playing a lot. So 4-3 shootout loss, and then a 9-4 win. Woo! Okay, that's the offense we're looking for. Maybe those line changes did something, because that is a 5-game win streak now. 35 wins on the year. Let's do another, let's go to the next back-to-back. Great, let's do another 3 games now. Buffalo, St. Louis, and then San Jose. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Noah Dobson was injured with his sore hip. I put in Jack Guy. What has he done since he got back in the lineup? I totally forgot. So since he came and played top pair, 1 assist and a +1. Okay, good for you, Arbor. Good for you. But I think I don't know if we can keep him up there. Dunn will come up. But and you know what, Jacka, you can play. Yeah, play second pair. But Dunn will come to the top pair. Okay, we'll do that until Dobson's back, which is probably any day now. I gotta stop the simulation there. 4-2 win. Let's go. Keep the win streak going. Thank you very much. I wonder how much Jacka playing top pair was contributing to this little streak of wins right now. There you go against Buffalo. Now Noah Dobson's back to full health. Good. Okay. Good work, Arbor. Thank you very much. All right, Dobson back in there. And back to the calendar. So, hosting St. Louis Blues now. They're 26-27-4. 5-2 victory. Then finally the Sharks. Come on, 3-2 win! That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. 38-19-2. You know what? Let's get these last 2 games done and make it a 10-game summary to go look at those stats in the lineup. 4-3 shootout loss and an 8-3 win. 9-0-1 in our last 10 games to be 39-19-3. That is a huge stretch there in February. Huge stretch. But as I see, the power play is still abysmal at 11.8%. I don't know what to say. It has to be the fit. It has to be because of the fit. There's no other explanation. Man. Okay, Porter, how you doing here on the first line? First line minutes for Porter Martone. Is that doing anything for him? Not much, I don't think. 3 assists and a +10, though. He's getting good experience, but only 3 assists and a +10. Eesh, okay. How about Brock Besser on this third line? Is that doing anything for him, playing third line? 6 goals and 11 points. Love it. No problem with me, Brock Besser. Are Nelson and Lysell benefiting, though, from that? Yes, Brock Nelson, 8 points in his last 10. And Fabian Lysell, I think a little less, maybe. No, my apologies. 9 points in 10 games from Fabian Lysell. Okay, so the experiment worked on the third line. On the first line, so-so. And Seiflikov, how are his last 10 games here? 8 more points. So that's what, 19 points in 20 games playing on the second line? Okay, Seiflikov has 33 points on the year now. All right, big boy. I see you, Bello. And I don't think we'll touch anything else. Yeah, Rasmus Sandin, how have you done in the last 10 games? I'm curious there. 4 points +5. All right. Last thing I want to see is probably Patrick Laine's goal scoring. Last 10 games. 5 goals, 12 points. Love it. And you know what? While I'm here, let's look at Yzerman and Horvat while I'm here as well. Yzerman, 4 goals, 10 points in 10 games. And Bo, top 50 Horvat with 6 goals, 12 points in 10 games. Yes. Well, I'm not going to change this lineup yet, at least, but it's very tempting to think about who's out there at the deadline. Last game here before the deadline, Fedotov will start another game to make his 20th appearance on the year. He has been fantastic here, hosting the 26-29-5 Winnipeg Jets, and we beat them 3-2 in the shootout. 10-0-1 in our last 11 games. That's crazy. 1 day before the deadline now. That was win number 40 as well, by the way. Whew! And Fedotov had a great .970 save percentage the last time out against Carolina. Maybe we'll start him again. Yeah, maybe. But first things first, we got to do our due diligence and look at the trade blocks. I'll scroll through and see who's interesting, but it would be hard to sell, even myself, on a move at this point with the pace that we're on. Okay, so after doing my due diligence, it still really comes down to just 2 names. It's Drake Batherson or Matt Zuccarello. Batherson would require more trade value. Still an 87. He's still putting out good numbers. I think he has about 50 points right now in 60-some games. He is still the number 1 guy trade value-wise. The second guy over in San Jose is Zuccarello, who would cost a little bit less as an 87 overall, but he costs more monetarily, which would mean if we want Zuccarello, they'd have to be retaining 45, almost 50% of the salary. Zuccarello, he's 39, veteran, 87 overall with the 85 poise and all that. Couple X factors, 52 points in 62 games. He's playing big minutes in San Jose, first year outside of Minnesota, and the Sharks are definitely a losing team. I doubt they'd be wanting to re-sign him. While Batherson, I could see the Senators wanting to, even though he's on the trade block, I could see them wanting to re-sign him. If there were anyone that we're getting, if we were to get anyone, I should say, Batherson in exchange for Seiflikov, who's been much better, a first and a little bit more, I think at this point in how we're simulating would be a little too much. Seiflikov has been doing exceptionally well. If we want to do anything, I think it's Zuccarello for a first-round pick at 50% retained, if they even want to do that. I don't think we can trade out Cyplikov right now with how well he's been doing. But if Zuccarello were to be the piece that we acquire to say, hey, this is the one piece that we're bringing in, this is to tell the league we're going on a run, this is our insurance within our top 9, whatever you want to call it, then who comes out of the top 9? If Fabian Lysell comes out, who's been doing better, mind you, 39 points in 62 games, on pace to hit 50, and he has 7 points in his last 10 games, is he going to be bumped to the 4th line? And we take out one of our veterans who have an A or a C on their chest? I don't know. So, like, Lee would go center, Lysell would go 4th line left wing, and Zuccarello would come in with Nelson and Besser. Is that what we want to necessarily do? I don't think it is, but could Zuccarello also be helpful for the power play, which continues to struggle? Like Matty Barzal on pace for whatever is 90 points or so. He has 7, maybe he's not going to hit 90, but he has 17 points and only 10 are on the power play. Well, last year, 17 points as well, 17 of them were on the power play, but that was in 20 more games. Is he going to get 7 power play points over the next 20 games? I don't know what the way things have been going. Oh, the power play has just not been good at all. It's really a tough call. It's a tough question because I'm not sure if I want to ask the AGMs, the on-call AGMs, because it would be a bit of a spoiler for the episode. Like sometimes I can hide things, but this would really be a scenario in which you got to know what's going on to have the context to make the call. Or maybe Porter Martone drops to the 4th line and Zuccarello comes in to play first line with Barzal and Laine. Because I'm already looking into the future and I see Martone in the playoffs just disappearing, Cyplikov disappearing, Horvat's goal scoring drying up, Yzerman's goal scoring drying up, and Barzal scoring 18 points in 6 games as we lose in 6. That's what I'm going to see happening, where just random things are going on, and I don't know, like, if this top 9 were to not work, could we bring Palmieri into the top 6 and hope for scoring? I don't think so. So maybe Zuccarello comes in and Lysell stays, and Martone's the guy who drops to the 4th line, plus his power play time to end off his rookie season. Anders Lee, 14 points in 62 games. Zizekas with 13. Kyle Palmieri with 16. These guys are just veteran legacy pieces. If they come out of the lineup and they can be injury insurance, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that would be crazy to do. We want to make this year a run. We can't afford to be so good and lose in the first round. If we lose, we lose. But we can't be this good and fall apart in round 1 because the scoring disappears. So I am feeling the pressure as the GM of this Islanders team to say we got to make a move. So if we were to say, yes, Matt Zuccarello, we are in on him, and I'm going to say, here's a first-round pick to make it happen. Let's start with the second. Let's start with Vancouver's second, and I'll give you Liam Foudy, who is excess for us right now, as he used to be our 13th forward. I can even make it Olofsson, though. Let's call it Victor Olofsson. He has more value. Olofsson and Foudy. Why not? Olofsson and Foudy. Can we do that? And, okay, so now we can say what kind of salary do we have to retain. This is lying to me. Then you say it's available, you exit, and now it's not available. So how much is it really? So this would be the deal. Zuccarello had $3.65 million retained. We give them our second, which is coming from Vancouver. Olofsson, who's been our 13th forward, who can definitely score if he's given some ice time, which they have to spare in San Jose. And Liam Foudy, who's basically been our 14th forward. He comes in. Zizekas moves to 13th forward. I think this is doable. A 50% retained, a second and a couple of pieces for a veteran. I could see this. San Jose, what would you say? Okay! Okay, trade accepted! I doubt anybody will think San Jose came out on the short end of the stick with this trade, so it's a done deal. So we could have given less trade value, but I think I would have felt a little bit uneasy about that. I think you need at least a second-round pick at the trade deadline for an 87 overall who's scoring a lot of points. Thank you, San Jose. Matt Zuccarello, welcome to Long Island. A big veteran piece joining our veteran squad. Let's try and get him a Stanley Cup. Of all the players trying to get Stanley Cups, let's add another one to the list here for Zuccarello. Let me just go ahead and throw... Okay, Fajmo was injured. That's why. Okay, Chalowski, you'll be first line for just a moment. I say replacing all lines. What does it mean? What does it mean if you don't do? Okay, and then into the NHL. So, Zizekas will come out of the lineup. Anders Lee will go center on the 4th line. Porter Martone will come 4th line with his power play time to end off the season. I know it's not ideal. And then moving to the first line, at least to start here, Zuccarello with the +5 and with the 3 check marks as well. Great first line fit. All right. Mats Zuccarello, welcome to the island. Zuccarello, Barzal, Laine as the first line. The middle six stays the same, and the fourth line, Palmieri, Lee, and Martone. I know it's not good for Martone's development necessarily, but he's up to an 83 already. He's been getting good ice time the last little bit. Hopefully this will, yes, bring down his average, but not by too much over the next 20 games, plus his power play time. Zuccarello will also get power play, speaking of that power play. Who's going to go where here? Who comes out? Lysell 1 power play point in the last 10 games. Not a lot of options for who comes out on the power play, so I suppose it's Lysell, unfortunately. Yeah, so Lysell will come out, Zuccarello will go in. Maintains the +5? Yes, it does. He has an X, though, for the fifth, unfortunately. It's a left-handed shot, which is good on that left wing. All right, Zuccarello will join the first unit, and the second unit will not change. Okay. Do we change anything else about our power plays? 4-man power plays, 4-on-4 lines. The penalty kill has been very good, so I don't want to touch that. I would have been open to adding Zuccarello, but it's been very good. Barzal, Yzerman, Horvat, Besser, Nelson, Laine. Yeah, hard to change that. Let's start like that. Let's ease Zuccarello into it, and we'll go from there. So thank you, San Jose. I'm not sure why the salary cap looks as it does, but thank you, San Jose, as that is our big deadline move to add to this team another top 6 presence, as we'll give him his first game against the Carolina Hurricanes. So let's sim to that game. There's our one move. Nothing else that we got to do. Already I was a bit hesitant on it, but I do think that one move like that will add to some insurance when things will undoubtedly start to go wrong a little bit in the postseason, as it always does. So here we go. Against the Carolina Hurricanes at Lenovo Center in Carolina. Matt Zuccarello making his Islanders debut here for the post-deadline finish. First period, 4-2 Islanders. Okay! Porter Martone scores a goal on the fourth line. Ghost ties it. The captain puts us ahead. Barzal makes it 3-1. Kotkaniemi 3-2. And then Mats Zuccarello! A power play goal less than 12 minutes into his Islanders debut. He scores on the power play. We brought him in not just for the offense, but for the power play offense. 4-2 Isles after 20. Second period, woo, 5-5. Natchez and Duchesne score a couple there. Laine power play, another power play goal, that's great. Then Carrier ties it. Shots are 23-21 for the Hurricanes. 10 goals between the two teams in less than 45 shots. 5-5 game here in the third period. Next one could be huge. It's Bo top 50 Horvat on Kochetkov giving us the lead. 6-5 Islanders. Now let's batten down the hatches. Let's go, Ilya. Let's go. Kyle Palmieri makes it 7-5. 2 goals from that new-look fourth line with Martone joining the veterans. Hopefully learning a thing or two from them. Brock Besser makes it 8. Jordan Martinook gets a 6th for the Hurricanes, though, as we win a barn burner. 8-6 the final. Shots and 33-29 for us. How are the stats in this one? A goal and an assist. No one with more than a goal and assist, but Jarvis had 3 assists. Let's see the plus-minuses in this one. My goodness. +3 from Pulock, +2 from Lysell, Martone, Nelson, Dunn, Palmieri, Besser. 2 assists from Lysell. -1s from a bunch of players. And Zuccarello, -1 with a goal and an assist in his Islanders debut. Awesome. All right, 8-6 win. That was quite a doozy. Let's give the 39-22-4 Avalanche to Fedotov up to this next game. And we'll check also the trades around the league. Okay, so we'll put Fedotov in for this one in just a moment. Activity feed. What other deals were made around the NHL? So there's our trade of Zuccarello coming in. Also, we didn't really give a big goodbye to Olofsson or Foodie. Thank you for your service here, my friends. You did very well. Thank you. Valimaki to the Maple Leafs, Fogle to the Blue Jackets, Jake Bean, Andrew Peak, and Benoit Olivier Giroux to the Edmonton Oilers. Sprong to the Predators, Denoyer to the Red Wings, Lafferty and some picks to Dallas, Darren Radish to Florida with Alec Martinez, Eric Gustafson to Edmonton, Nick Perbix to the Maple Leafs, Easton Cowan to the Blackhawks, Thanasiu Suter to the Wild, Riley Smith to the Vancouver Canucks, Urson to the Wild as well, some pick swaps, Alexiak to the Maple Leafs, Dvorak and Harvey Pinard with Sandberg to the Vancouver Canucks, and then a bunch of pick swaps, Coleman, Lizotte, some other depth players moving around. So yeah, pretty busy trade deadline, actually. The penalty kill at 17th, it's been so-so. Yeah, actually, I remember our goals against was great. Our penalty kill was so-so. So maybe Zuccarello playing penalty kill wouldn't be a bad idea. Our goals for has gone way up, which is great. Goals against still fantastic, but the special teams, both of those are below the league average. So yeah, I will put Zuccarello on a penalty kill unit. What's his defense again? 3.5 stars. Not bad. And I wouldn't mind him getting some extra time out there. So Horvat and Nelson can stay. Probably Palmieri comes out. The poor guy's getting older now. And then on the third unit, Besser, so Zuccarello came in for Cizikas, that's what it was. So let's swap him to the second unit. And now the third will be Besser with Barzal. Is he playing already? Let me check here, because the first was Horvat, right? Horvat, Nelson. The second is Barzal, Zuccarello already. Sorry, yeah. So then, Nelson. So yeah, Nelson, Besser. No, Nelson's with Horvat. Sorry, who can play center? Anders Lee? Anders Lee can play center. Lee and Besser. Okay, great. There we go. Alrighty, and I was already there in edit lines. Fedotov. Okay, Fedotov getting a big opportunity here against the Avalanche. The 39-22-4 Avs looking for win number 40 at Ball Arena as we are the visitors. First period, 1-1 game. Vince Dunn on the power play. How do you do? Mikko Rantanen ties it. Second period, 3-1 Avs. Middlestat and McKinnon, 2 power play goals. As the penalty kill continues to fall apart. A third power play goal against. A fourth power play goal against. 6-1 Avs. Call it. 7-1. Fedotov collapses, and so does the penalty kill. Wow, so, great experiment. Glad we learned our lesson. If we advance the date, does it put Sorokin in automatically? Yes, it does. Okay, so we learned our lesson. Nelson, buddy, you're getting tired. So we're going to go Horvat, Besser on the first right there. Barzal, Nelson on the second. And the third will be Lee Zuccarello, maybe? What's the defense like? Sandin Dobson? No, let's change that to Boldzuk Dobson. Let's get some shot blocking in there. Boldzuk Dobson on the first unit. Dunn Pollock on the second. Sandin Mayfield on the third. All right. Changed something. My goodness. Back to the calendar. That was our first regulation loss in quite a while. And by the way, we are 6 points up on the Rangers for the division lead. Any other division rivals who are close to us? Where are the Capitals? Not really. Capitals. So yeah, let's just sim a couple weeks now. We've done a lot in this episode. Let's just get simming now. Let's get simming. On the road in St. Louis. That's a 5-2 loss. Outscored, what? 12-3 in those last 2 games. Letourneau strained hamstring. He'll be back soon enough, though. Philadelphia Flyers hosting Philly. 5-4 loss. In Philadelphia, 4-3 shootout loss. And Bo Horvat, sore shoulder. Now things start to unravel. We go out and acquire an 87 overall, and now is when things begin to unravel. Okay. In these menus, I'm going to scream. Brock Nelson comes up, Anders Lee comes up, and Cizikas comes back in. Okay. In Detroit, Fazermo's fully healed. Okay. Yeah, against Detroit, they don't want to tell us what happens unless I actually pause it. Another injury. Head coach replaced. I'm sick of it. Can I see? Okay, 5-2 win, 5-1 win. Finally, a little bit of something going for us. Let's go see who. The Capitals are starting to win a little bit, eh? The Caps are there. But still, we're 19 points up on them. Yeah, okay, I gotta hold myself back. We've done a lot of slow sims in this one. Let's sim through both these. In Washington, then hosting the Capitals after that. 2 games, 4-0 shutout for the first game. Very nice. Letourneau back to full health. Chalopsky was playing first-line center. I do not care. Okay, Letourneau, by the way, how you doing, Dean? How you doing? 19, yeah. 40, okay, 40 points, negative 11. He plays a lot of minutes, 23.5 minutes per night. All right, Dean, I want to see you fourth-line center next year. Okay. Back to the calendar. So, 4-0 shutout victory in Washington. Then we win 4-2 back on Long Island. Good. The Hurricanes, the Lightning. Let's go see the Lightning. Let's go see them. Contre les Canadiens, 5-2. Merci beaucoup. And then finally, Bo Horvat. Well, I don't know. We've been winning without Bo Horvat. But he's got to come back, absolutely. Just to say, though. Yeah, so we'll swap everything back. There you go, Bo. And you know what? If we start losing suddenly, then we know that was the reason, I suppose. Stop the sim so I can go back and see what's happening. 5-2 win, 2-1 shootout loss. Let's go see the Oilers in Edmonton. We'll go see them. Hosting the Lightning with Bo Horvat back to full health. All right, 3-1 victory. Thank you. In Seattle against the Kraken. All these injuries to Isaiah George and Odelius and everything. 5-2 win. In Edmonton, there you go. We're 2 wins away from 50. I don't know if we'll hit. Actually, no, our pace was 52, right? See, we could still do it. First period, 3-2 Isles. Yzerman and Laine put us up 2-0. Carcone comes back. Pollock makes it 3-1. Then Nolan Foote makes it 3-2. Second period, 4-3 goal apiece. Barzal and Nolan Foote on the power play. Third period now being outshot 25-21. Cole Yzerman, power play goal. We're now up by 2. Let's cross our fingers and say that's enough. And yes, it was. 6 through the final. Anders Lee puts it to bed. 6-3 with the 3 stars being Foot, Heiserman, and Carcone. All right. 6-3 win for win number 49 with how many games left in the season now? 3, 4, 5, 6 games left in the season. We can do it. All right, let's go to the last couple to end off the year so we can control the goalies. Looking for win 50 in Vancouver. Could it be against the Canucks, who are 43-30-3? No, 4-1 loss. Against the strong Maple Leafs, 51-win Maple Leaf squad. Let's see if we can get win number 50 against them. Back out. Let's go here against the Maple Leafs. And it's a 3-2 victory for win number 50, ladies and gentlemen. 4-2 win against the Kings in Boston, facing off against Adam Pelech and the Bruins. Henry Thrun fractured jaw. Okay. Facing off against the Bruins. 5-2 wins, so big wins against big teams. The 52-25-2 Bruins, we beat them. And the 52-25-3 Maple Leafs, we beat them. So now the last 2 games of the season, I think we go Sorokin, then Fedotov to end it off against Boston. Even though you would think it's the reverse, I want to make sure Sorokin is rested. So Sorokin will start this game against the Blue Jackets in Columbus, and that will be a 5-3 victory to beat our pace of 52 wins. There's win number 53. And the last game of the season will go to Fedotov, facing off against Adam Pelech in the 52-26-2 Boston Bruins to end off year number 3, which has been a success, I would say. First period, 5-2 Islanders. Oh my goodness. Laine, Horvat, Yzerman, Laine, and Horvat again. 2 from Laine, 2 from Bo. Second period, 5-2 it remains. Shots 22-16. Third period, do we see a hat trick in game 82? I want Adam Pelech to be a -3 in this game. It looks like it's going to be a calm couple last periods after a 7-goal first. Is a calm second and a calm third. Morgan Geekie makes it a 2-goal game as we now lead 5-3 with 5 minutes left. But that should be enough to put it to bed for win number 54 on the year. Thank you very much. Shots end 33-28. And let's just see it. Adam Pelech. Adam Pelech, where are you? Oh, there he is. I was almost blind. Hey, 1 assist plus 1? What a joke! Laine 2 goals, Horvat 2 goals. Swayman was perfect after he came in relief after Forsberg allowed 5 in the first period. But too bad, so sad, as we beat the Bruins twice to end off the season. And we finished with our record of 54, 23, and 5. Did every team play 82? Not yet. Yes, I think everybody played 82. Very good. All right, hold on. Is that Zuccarello 134? Hey, look at Matt Zuccarello, 134 points this season. Well done. What a joke. Okay, so 54 wins. Where does that put us in the entire NHL? We won the Metropolitan Division. That's fantastic news. And we finished second in the NHL to the 58-win Florida Panthers. Understandable. But second in the NHL, that's something to be very, very proud of. And also, just to let you know, this would be our first division title since 1988. And 54 wins would tie as the winningest season in Islanders history, tying us with the 1982 Islanders, of course, one of those Stanley Cup winning Islander teams. For points percentage, I believe it would be the 4th best season in Islanders history, but tied for the winningest season. Wow, very, very happy. 3.5 goals, 4 per game, so we definitely moved up in that regard. Wow, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the NHL. Fantastic. 2.78 goals against per game. 3rd best in the NHL. Yes. Power play ends at 16.7, so it got better. Yeah, it actually got a lot better. Not 30th or 28th or anything. Actually more in the middle, yeah. Okay, so the power play saw a big increase with Matt Zuccarello, I think. We'll have to look at his power play points. Closer to the top than the bottom, actually. And the penalty kill ended at 82.2. Again, not the absolute basement, but closer to the bottom than the top. If we look, before I look at the player points, 95 from Barzal. Before we look there, oh, it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell you anymore. Too bad where the exact ranking is, but we saw it. We saw that it was closer to the top than the bottom for the power play. So, Matty Barzal ends with 95 points. He was on a 90-point pace. He hits 30 goals and 95 points. Career highs in both of those regards right there. Wonderful, 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 wonderful from Matty Barzal. Very proud of him. He's going to be a future leader of this team. Mats Zuccarello. Did it end up being a good acquisition? I think so! 30 points in 20 games and 7 power play points to boot as a plus 17. GM Data, you did it! All right, Matt Zuccarello, I love you, man. Matt Zuccarello does it. That's great news. Bo Horvat, whoa, just a quiet 42 goals from Bo Horvat. Not completely quiet, but we thought closer to 30, 35. 42 goals from big top 50 Bo Horvat, who doubles his totals from the last couple seasons. 79 points, plus 29. This is the Bo Horvat we were waiting for. We strip him of the alternate captaincy, and then he wakes up. Cole Eiserman, 32 goals and 72 points in his sophomore season. That's great. Patrick Laine, 34 goals and 68 points in his first season here with the Islanders. Fantastic. Brock Besser's goal-scoring pace slowed down, but 24 goals and 65 points. That's fine by me. I know his ice time went down on the third line, but he seems to be productive there. Brock Nelson, still 49 points as a third liner at 35 years of age. We love him. Thank you, Captain. Fabian Lysell, 48 points from him. Big improvement from last season. That saw him score 39 points. So great work from Fabian Lysell. Noah Dobson, you know what? He turned it around. 47 points in 76 games. That's about a 50-point pace for a regular season. Those are the types of numbers we want to see from Noah Dobson. 12 points in his last 10 games. Yes, Noah Dobson. Yes. Cyplakov, so he kind of quieted down after his crazy point streak. His last 10 games, only 3 points, but I'm very happy with Cyplakov. Now, does he keep it up in the postseason? We'll see what happens. Vince Dunn woke up in a big way as well. 35. He's on pace for what? 26? Ends with 35 points. Well done. Porter Martone, I know things slow down with the ice time, but still a 31-point rookie season. A future middle six, top six guy next season or the season after. I'm okay with that from Porter Martone. Should we have kept him in the OHL? I don't think so. 31 points, up to an 83 overall. I think it was the right call, though it was a bit of a tough one. 6 points in his last 10 games, 3 power play points. Very good, very good. Ryan Pulock, a surprising 28 points and a plus 29 from him. Kyle Palmieri, he still got it, 23 points from the veteran. Anders Lee, welcome back to the island, 21 points from him. Rasmus Sandin, 6 goals and 20 points from the newly acquired defenseman. Very good. Cizikas, 16 in 66. Mayfield, 14 in 66. Bolduc, 13 plus 15. Yeah, great plus minuses from that third pair. Jack-Eye, 3 assists and a plus 11 when he came in. All right, goaltending. Ilya Sorokin hits 40 wins and goes 40, 21, and 4 with 5 shutouts, 9-10 save percentage, and 2.79 goals against average. While Fedotov appeared in 25 games, went 14-3-1, had a 9-14 save percentage, and 2.54 goals against average. The goaltending came through, the scoring woke up, the deadline acquisition was a huge success. We can finally be happy at the end of a season here. Finally. And in the entire NHL, if you're curious, 121 points from JT Miller to win the Art Ross, 67 goals from Austin Matthews to win the Rocket. And if we look at the defensemen in the NHL, we see 99 points from Quinn Hughes, Makar, Riley, Sergachev even, Minchikov up there. For the goaltending, 51 wins from Spencer Knight. Wow. But Sorokin up there for the wins. Definitely up there for the wins. If we look at minimum, let's say 50 games played and sort by save percentage. Yeah, Spencer Knight, easy Vezina, you would think for Spencer Knight. You got to think. Although Jerry had a slightly better save percentage. Runaway victory for Spencer Knight in the goals against average. But you know what? Like I said, again, Sorokin up there enough for us to be happy. Anything interesting from the rookie skaters? Sorting by points here. 65 points from Caden Lindstrom. Wow. And there's Porter Martone. You don't gotta scroll too far. He's there. He's out there. Porter's out there. Porter Airlines. Zuccarello is 134 points. Down in the AHL, how are things looking? We're 28, 34, and 7. We built such a good team in the AHL. I don't get it. Letourneau leading the team in points, but still 49 and 65 is not super impressive. Denisenko has an 80 overall, has only 45 points. Odelius and George, I want to see them maybe in the NHL next year. It's possible. Yeah, we'll think about that at the end of the postseason, at the end of next episode with roster moves, with player growth and all that. For now, we have our sights set in the postseason. We won our division. We don't need to face the Rangers, the Penguins. We'll see which wildcard team we get for round 1 of year 3, our first postseason in this entire franchise mode so far. Episode 9, next episode, we'll finally make it. In round 1 of the year 3 postseason, we will be facing the Boston Bruins. Are you kidding me? What? How is this possible? We beat the Bruins twice in the last, 3 or 4 games? How are we playing a 50-plus win team in round 1? How in round 1 are the 2nd and 5th best teams in the NHL playing each other? What's going on in the Atlantic Division over there? Just a super... Could it be... Why did the Atlantic Division have to have 4 52-plus win teams? Oh, that is crazy. Oh, that is crazy. That is crazy. So, of course, in round 1, we need to face a team that had 53 wins when we get 54. Fantastic. All right, let's stay positive. Just a quick look at the lines before we end off the episode for anybody who's curious to start looking at matchups and whatnot. The Boston Bruins. Marchand, Lindholm, Pastrnak. 96 overall, David Pastrnak, who scored 42 goals and 102 points this season. Coyle, Geeky, Moore on the second line. Ben, Zacha, Holmstrom, of course, former Islander, of course, Simon Holmstrom. Then Bemstrom, Poitras, and Beecher on the fourth. Defense, here he is. Lindholm, McAvoy on the first, but Carlo and Adam Pelech. Here he is, always. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Thanos, here he is. He's bald like Thanos too. 20 points in 82 games, a plus 12, playing 1908 of ice time per night. Where did that bring you? Back to me, says Adam Pelech. Zadorov and Regula on the third pair. Goalies, 87 overall, Jeremy Swayman, backed up by 81 overall, Anton Forsberg. Swayman had some good numbers this year. Yeah, and any healthy scratches. Lowry, Mann, Frédéric Brunet. How about that? Okay, whew. So I'm already a little nervous for next episode, but ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, I am excited about this team. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments about the second half of the season, the pace, who is your MVP of the season itself. Matt Zuccarello, love that acquisition. Are we making any more changes to the special teams, the 5-on-5 lines? Keep in mind, these are the 5-on-5 forwards, 5-on-5 defense, power play unit number 1, power play unit number 2, and as well, if you want to make any changes to the penalty kill, here is penalty kill unit number 1, penalty kill unit number 2, and penalty kill unit number 3. I'm looking forward to reading all your thoughts down here on YouTube or over on the Discord server, link in the description for all the assistant general managers. Leave a like if you enjoyed the second half, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already for all of our ongoing series on the channel, our franchise modes, our live stream series, and soon, coming very soon, we're getting back to career simulations on NHL 25. It's been way too long with the slow menus, but we're getting back soon. I'll get into more details in the near future. But we ended the season 8-1-1. We beat the Bruins twice. Hopefully more momentum's going to be going in our favor, and now we can see actually our rankings on the right. 13th best power play and 21st best penalty kills. Maybe it's the penalty kill that needs tweaks. I don't know. Looking forward to reading all your thoughts. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing you once again in the next one, where we will finally get some postseason action here on the island.